I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 7th races. 8 of them at Hastings Racecourse. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully the weather holds. It'll be the day after the Kentucky
everybody
Derby.
getting over their mint julep hangover.
Yeah.
And a good card they pulled together for Sunday. 8 races on tap. Let's get right into it. First race.
Young fillies.
$16,000 claimant event for 3-year-old fillies. I went to the 2 here. Jazz Lady. Greg Tracy bought a group of these horses out of Fairgrounds, and she's been running in tough races down there. Some of them state bred, some not, but well seasoned. 9 starts, 2 wins. The only multiple winner in the field. Comes in here race fit. I have to think she's going to be dangerous. Maybe a little bit off form, but those are tough races. I got Jazz Lady on top. The 1, Sherry Sugar Rush, won first out here last year for trainer Mike Anderson. Above Sale on Bias, started to be looked very professional in her first start. Did not get disgraced in the Sadie Diamond Futurity. Shows up here and then ran in that first allowance race, first out this year. Now she goes in for $16,000. Don't mind her. Corinne Andros, 3 rides for trainer Mike Anderson. Sherry Sugar Rush. And I put the 5, Is It Gold, out of the Mark Cluche barn. Just 2 starts last year, both very professional. Running second behind a well-met Bonnie Christine. Coming right back to win comfortably for maiden 12-5. Been training forwardly. Nice minute and 4/5 work coming into this. She should be a handful. I went 2, 1, and 5.
Yeah, I went to the 5 to win it. I don't love anyone in here. I think they're all eligible to win. There's nothing that absolutely elevates itself out of the page that grabs you at all.
If one of these girls like Artistica or Sherry Sugar Rush had run 3rd in that first allowance race, that would be the horse to beat in here. Yeah. But they both ran a little bit disappointing.
They both didn't do a whole lot of running and just were overmatched. And it wasn't a fast time. The track was really quick that day. I went to the 5, Is It Gold. Been training well for Mark Cluche. 2 runs last year against obviously pretty soft competition, but still looked good in both those races. Eco Charge horse placed behind Is It Gold. Came back to run 3rd in the first maiden allowance race for fillies and mares this year. So there was some good company lines. I just think it might be the speed of the speed. I'll try Is It Gold to defeat the 1, Sherry Sugar Rush. It was probably the one that might take the best trip in behind the speed. If the 3, 4, and 5 decide to go at it, and the Sherry Sugar Rush could get a perfect trip. And I put the 3, Artistica with blinkers for Phil Hall. As you mentioned, didn't show a whole lot. Without the without the blinkers, but did wear blinkers last year and ran well, and now the blinkers are refitted, so Artistica definitely in with a chance in the class drop. 5, 1, and 3 in a race I did not like at all. On to race number 2, 12-5 fillies and mares going 6 1/2 furlongs. The 3, Holly's Last Call, ran huge first time out last year. I know it was her just on 2-4, but she's a solid mare. The only reason she missed the board was when she went long, when she was 6, beating a million lengths. But her races are solid in these mid-level claiming races. She's got to be the horse to beat. But the 5, Storm Stalker, she's an honest mare. She was in the claiming series last year, ran a lot of good races, couldn't quite beat Pretty Reckless. Ran against the boys in her final start of the season by Proxy Man, Bear Rock and Roll. She's back in against the girls. Good works for Jody Rawson. I put the 1, She Spends My Loot, in for 3rd. I had to put someone in there for 3rd. Quite a few of them look like they want to go a little farther, and especially the 2 Phil Hall runners. Looks like they want to route, but you're going to have to sprint today. 3, 5, and 1 for me in the 2nd on Sunday.
I went to the Phil Hall runner because she's race fit. She Spends My Loot. It's got 2 in here, but She Spends My Loot is race fit. And I like that last work, 1:01, right? That shows that, she's taken to the track, she's on her toes, she's race fit, and gets Amadeo Perez. So I'm going to try to beat Holly's Last Call at a short price, but She Spends My Loot. Holly's Last Call, obviously, as Mike said, is a horse to beat here. I put her in 2nd, and I put La Rondine, the other Phil Hall trainer, comes out of the Blaine Wright barn, out of Golden Gate, Northern California circuit. Another one, as you mentioned, wanted to go a little further. Ran last time, 4-6 furlongs.
Just an on-2 horse, too, though. That's the only thing that worried me.
Yeah, and she's an on-2 run against multiple winners, but she is race fit, and Redicop has had a lot of early success with Phil Hall. I went 1, 3, and 2 in the 2nd. On to the 3rd, maiden 4,004, fillies and mares. Field of 7 lined up here, going 6 furlongs. I had trouble with this one, Mike. This is another one. There's a lot of murky kind of races on Sunday. Miss Napoli Hasn't run since she was a 2-year-old 2 years ago. They paid a good price for it at the sale.
Yeah.
Ran in a good race against Ebony Warrior, Sue Claire, Fear the Cat. That was a live race, but it was 2 years ago. She's working decent for this, and shows up for 4,000. I'm going to take a shot on her. She just hasn't, good connections, and just hasn't really proven. There's a lot of horses in here with a lot of races under their belts, trying to break their maiden. It's just her second start. So I'll go with her on top of another one to making her second start. Rosie's Up out of the John Snow Barn. Just the one start last year. At the end of the year, too. John probably just wanted to get the start into her as it was near the end of the season, make sure that she didn't come into as a 4-year-old making her first start. Came Up Roses. She's out of a good family, that Came Up Roses family, bred, of course, by Glenn Todd. Step Up, that mare's had a few good runners. So I'll put Rosie's Up in the second spot, and I put Darren Got 20 out of the Rob Maben barn. Rob helped this race to go, throwing a couple in there, so I picked one of his, but Darren Got 20 looks like the live one. Now the Rob Maben runners put her in for third. I went 176 in the third.
Yeah, I wanted the 4 Cashspiel. I know she's got a lot of on-the-board performances, but has yet to break through. But she's a 4-year-old, like a few of them in here. But 5 runner-up efforts last year. She's due to break through soon.
Yeah.
Apprentice Jose Asensio gets the call. Pretty good since removing the blinkers. 5 starts back, and she's never really missed the board. Just kept running into horses that beat her.
Always second.
Perhaps may happen. The one, Miss Napoli, obviously an expensive yearling purchase 3 years ago, and now a 4-year-old, just the one run 2 years back. But good works for good connections. Not a lot to beat in here. I put her in for second, and I put the 7. I agree with Rosie's Up. Put that one in for third. 4, 1, and 7 for me in the third. On to race number 4, $16,000 fillies and mares. Maidens going 6 panels. I went to the 7 Mayfair Lady. Pretty impressed with her runner-up effort to Dazzlin' Dawn. I know she got beat 100 lengths, but still.
Look at the way Dazzlin' Dawn came
back. Yeah, she ran very well in the opening stake, the Dogwood for fillies, 3-year-old fillies. I ran against the boys in her next start. Obviously, something went off the rails as she was given the rest of the year off. Her work coming back has been very good. I don't think she looks like the horse to me to beat. I put the 3 Extramarital in for second. Hasn't yet shown she can go 2 turns, but. Excellent pedigree. Texas Wildcat, a nice horse. Cage Mistress, stakes winner. Yeah. This one did run 3.5 twice in May before going to the sidelines, but her works are good as well. And I put the 6, That's It, for Anita Bolton and Ralph Jeziak. Another one with some nice works.
Grace for You.
The mare did win the Ballerina. Grace for You, quite a few years back, a daughter of Bo Laddie. So there's some potential with the 3, 6, and 7. I did go 7 to win it over the 3 and 6. I thought those were the 3.
I flipped your top 2. I did put Extramarital on top of Mayfair Lady, and that was just, it's tough to, for me, it was tough to differentiate between those two, and I landed on Extramarital over Mayfair Lady for the reasons you mentioned. I put Payment Plan in the third spot for trainer Mike Anderson. Jose Asensio takes the call in this well-bred daughter of to Honor and Serve, who only had a couple starts last year, was claimed by Mike Anderson in her second start, and that was the last time we saw her. So good work coming into this too in a minute and 2/5. So I put her in for third. 3, 7, and 1 for me. In the fourth, on the fifth, maiden 4,000 for 3-year-old nut colts and geldings, full field of 10 in here, going 6 furlongs. I landed on the 2 here, Majestic Stance. Been running in much tougher races down at the fairgrounds. Maiden 12.5s, maiden 20s. Hasn't been overly competitive in those races, but he does look fit enough. Nice work here on April 29th in a minute flat. And Greg doesn't get overly aggressive with his horse, just has him in for 4,000. Mario Sanders takes the call. There's not, it's not an overly tough field, I didn't think, and the fit horse could have an advantage. So I put Majestic Stance on top. Of the 1, Classic Victory out of the Mike Anderson barn. Mike ran this horse, the 2-year-old, 3 times last year, and I like that first race behind Baby's Got Track. Ran against Kelson. Some decent horses. That last race was, only got 11 buyer, but went to the sidelines after that. That was the last time we saw him in September, and kind of working okay for top connections. So I put him in second, and I put the 4, Rememberly Softly. Another one with top connections, Liz Stolzenberg, North American Thoroughbred Horse Company, David Lopez. Another one with just a couple starts last year at the Maiden Special Weight Company. Thought enough to run for Maiden Special Weight. Now it's in for Maiden 4, in for third. 2, 1, 4 for me.
Yeah, I agree with the 2. Majestic Stance looks like a very good spot. Been winter raced and nice, excellent final prep. Not facing an overly stellar cast and aggressively spotted by Greg Trish. That's why he wins races at a high percentage. He aggressively spots them. So I'll take this one to win it. I give the 9 Milshon a chance. Work tab's okay, but Some of those races last year would be very competitive in here. He is protected for 4,000, and he's a 5-year-old, which is a plus in here. There's only 4 older horses in here. Generally, they have the advantage, and the older horses are the 2, 3, 7, and 9, and probably you might not be too far off being right if you boxed them in a triactor. But I put Milshon in for second. I put Crater Lake in for third for Steve Henson. I thought this horse had trained
He's
well,
been running,
47-2 final prep, been running in Phoenix. There's something to like about Crater Lake, but and also Sonny's in command. That'd be my 4th one. I went 298 in race number 5. On to the 6th race. It does kick off your late pick 4, by the way. On to race 6, which kicks off your late pick 3. 6250 older horses here going 6 furlongs. The 1 horse Cedarburg was winter raced in Phoenix. Came out here smoking. Won nicely over Similkameen Loke. And he's got to be the horse to beat. This race did not come up overly tough for the 6250 level. Actually, Last Caesar Ward follows, who ran well behind him, follows him up here. And a lot of horses that have been off a long time, and I just think Cedarburg's going to be pretty dangerous again. But Citron Kid in the mix for second. Probably not his best distance, but still a horse that you really need to respect. If there is some crazy fractions up front, Citron Kid will come running. Or Phil Hall, Work Tab, another one is. The work has been very good. And I put the 7, Abil, for Greg Tracy. Trainer change here. Good final work. 59 and 3. Does have some speed. Abil's always dangerous at this level. It does run protected. I went 1, 3, and 7. I think those are your horses in race number 6.
I went with Cedarburg on top 2. I think Cedarburg's like best bet of the day. He looks very good when at the $4,000 level. They don't get aggressive with him. This is the logical next step. The 62, he's still eligible for this condition. Cedarburg on top for me. I put Creus in the 2nd spot. Richard Hamill, Mike Anderson always team up very well. Ran good off the bench last year, started for 16, a good second behind Shoe Schwab, who's always right there in all of his races. And a good work for him in 59 and 2 coming into this. He's on his toes for top connections, and I've always liked this horse. Creus in the 2nd spot, and I agree, Abil in the 3rd spot. Whenever he's at the 6250 level, he's extremely dangerous, and he's another one with a nice work for Greg Tracy, 59 and 3 coming into this, 1, 4, and 7
Game
for
horse,
me.
runs hooked all the
He
time.
is,
He's a nice horse,
he's a
Abil.
cool little guy. On to the 7th.
Feature.
The feature. All right.
Allowance event.
What did I go? I didn't write down my picks here. 3, 8, and 1. I went with Andy's Candy. I knew that. On top.
The 8th Crackdown.
Crackdown.
And the
And
one
sorry about nothing. Annie's Candy. Another one of these Redicop horses coming in here, race fit. Claimed for 42 stars back off Peter Miller. Got a 95 buyer. They ran him back in Austral 62. Ran a disappointing 5th. That was on the 30th of March. He comes up here and been firing bullets. 59 and 3. 46 and 3. Likes to come from off the pace. There's lots of pace on in here with Sabado, Allegre, Captain Jones, Crackdown. I like the trip Andy's Candy's going to get. My pick in here is Andy's Candy. Crackdown. You never can throw this guy out sprinting. Look at his record here. 10 and 5.
Yeah.
7 and 4 at the distance, and the 3 where he didn't win would have been in stakes, right? Like, he's run against the toughest horses here. I like his post position. He's breaking from the outside. It's 6.5 furlongs.
It is a good draw.
He's going to be tough. 59 and 2 work for him coming into this for trainer Patty leading. And I put 1 in here just because I'm interested to see how this horse goes. It's going to be short for him. There's some cool horses in here. Twist Grips had a great year last year.
He's working well. I've seen him in the morning. He looks great.
Calgary Caper. Sorry About Nothing's working well, and he is our reigning BC Derby champion on Kentucky Derby weekend, so I didn't want to leave him out. I threw him in for 3rd. 3, 8, and 1 for me in the feature.
I agree with the 3. Annie's Candy being the horse to beat. Did actually, Peter claimed the horse for 40, ran it for 62. Claimed the winner that day, Distinctive Passion, who came back, of course, to win the Swift inaugural on opening day. So we ran into a pretty solid horse that day, and this is a lot easier. Works are excellent, as you mentioned. Annie's Candy is the horse to beat, but I did not take him. I went to the 7, Sabato Allegre.
Trying to beat him.
Yeah, with Craig McPherson. Anyone can do it. It's going to be this horse. His work tab is excellent. Craig always has 10, 8, 12 days between works on this particular horse. He needs a little recuperation time between workouts, but he still runs huge races. And it looks like to me like Craig's got him ready. Richard Hamill rides. This horse is one of the best sprinters on the grounds. He tried to enter in the Swift inaugural, didn't get in the race because it was by lifetime earnings, and unfortunately this horse won a lot of his early races in Chile, where they give away Chile. They give away not much
Exactly.
money. He's got
No many
29,000,
pesos.
not many pesos, or whatever they have in Chile for dinero. But Sabato Alegre's been very, very impressive. I've thought enough of him to run him in the Long Acres Mile. He's a nice horse, so I'm going to take him to win it. And he's Candy second, Crackdown third. I think those are your 3, 7, 3, 8 for me, and a very good and talented allowance
that's a good race.
number 7.
Didn't even touch on Twist Grips. Had a good
No,
one
and
last year.
cool
Calgary
horse.
Caper last year.
They're all deep closers, so I don't see a lot of speed. It's the only problem. There's cool. There's a lot of, sorry about that, I didn't touch on, but I mean, there's a lot of nice horses in there, but it's just so
good feature.
Looks like the speed will unfortunately dominate. On the 8th and final, $8,000 older horses going 6 panels. I ended up on the 1 Prince Hotel. Is he the best horse in the race? I'm not sure, but I think he may be. He is the speed as well.
Got a hell of a year last year.
Yeah, no, he got in that starter
8
series, and Jody Rawson has racked up wins with this son of Rosberg, and I think he's going to be dangerous. I don't see any speed in here at all. I think he's going to get the lead. He's going to be dangerous from the inside. Enrique Gonzalez rides. Another speed horse, perhaps, is a 7 who didn't show it last time, Silent Native, but that was in an open 16. That down for 8, cuts his price in half. He should be near the lead as well. And I put the 6 Merlot, who's always, pretty dangerous here at Hastings. Doesn't seem to win a lot. Maybe being down at the $8,000 level, things will change. I didn't know what to do with Lord Roxburgh, a horse that's been off, a year and a bit, and
got the back class, that's for sure.
He's a cool. It was a nice 3-year-old,
top 2-year-old here,
But it's tough. Obviously something's gone amiss, and he's not as good as he once was. So, but I still respect the horse. He can run. I went 1, 7, and 6 though to close out Sunday.
I went to the 6. I put Merlot on top. He's the lowest price we've seen him, down for $8,000. He tracks Richard Hamill, who won on him last year. He's got the 1 out this year of that 16. He ran the best of these horses coming out of the 16. And I like the fact that he can lay close enough to the pace in a race where there isn't a whole lot of pace. He can stay close. So I got Merlot on top. I put Power Corrupt in the 2nd spot. He fired a big one first out last year and an optional 25 against Crazy Profit. And a big effort off the bench for trainer Mike Anderson, and he's been working forwardly for this. And those were much tougher horses. He starts out at the $8,000 level. That's a big difference. I know me and Mike talk all the time. When you start out your stakes company or your allowance company and work your way down, it's a lot different than firing first off the bench in for $8,000. I expect a big effort out of him. And I put Prince Hotel, your top pick, and of course has to be respected off the year he had last year for trainer Jody Rawson. I just thought he'd be more competitive for 16. That's why I got him in the 3rd spot. 6, 4, and 1 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis. Up next on 3 will be our picks. Mike, as always.
Back in race number 1, I went to the 5. Is it Gold? 5, 1, and 3. Race number 2, I went to the 3. Holly's Last Call. I think your speed will be dangerous. 3, 5, and 1. Race number 3, I went to the 4. Cash Spiel. 4, 1, 7. Race number 4, I went to the 7, Mayfair Lady over the 3, Extramarital, and the 6, That's It. Race number 5, number 2, Majestic Stance, making his Hastings debut. I think he's going to be pretty tough. 2, 9, and 8, though, in race number 5, which is kick off your late pick 4. Race number 6, the 1, Cedarburg, looked great a couple weeks back. Going to be tough again this week. 1, 3, and 7. Race number 7, the 7, Sabato Alegre. 7, 3, and 8 for me in a very contentious and tough feature allowance race. And the 8th and final, number 1, Prince Hotel, a 5-time winner last year. Hopefully he can get on track in his 2nd start. I went 1, 7, and 6.
Up next on my screen, there we go. And back in the 1st, I went to the 2, Jazz Lady, over the 1 and the 5. In the 2nd, I went to the 1, She Spends My Loot, over the 3 and the 2. In the 3rd, I went to the 1, Miss Napoli, over the 7 and the 6. In the 4th, I went to the 3, Extramarital, over the 7 and the 1. In the 5th, I went to the 2, Majestic Stance, over the 1 and the 4. In the 6th, say best bet of the day, number 1, Cedarburg, over the 4 and the 7. In the 7th, number 3, Annie's Candy, over the 8 and the 1. And in the nightcap, I went to the 6, Merlot, over the 4 and the 1.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. We wish everyone lots of luck throughout the weekend. Hopefully, it should be a great weekend.
Have a good Derby weekend. Yeah,
15 live races here. Kentucky Derby weekend. Lots of other stakes races. Great simulcasting going on this weekend as well. Should be a lot of fun. Enjoy
the whole card from Churchill on
great
Saturday.
at stakes
Awesome.
races.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun. We always look forward to these weekends where the top horses are running. And
flagship weekends in the thoroughbred industry.
It is very exciting. So on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. Good luck on the weekend. We'll see you next time here on Handicappers Corner at the Derby Barn Grill.